This coffee rain on the plan, clicking through the numbers with a six-pack in my hand. We ain't guessing, we're testing every pixel, every line. Turn that side hustle sparkle to a full-time shine. Yeah. It's that Maverick Monday marketing. Turn that scroll into a ringing phone. From the back road shops to the big time blocks, we're driving traffic like a dusty old Ford. Yellow Web Mavericks got it starting to swing. It's that Maverick Monday marketing.
Catchy little thing, but
Yeah,
welcome
it
to.
is. I feel like I want to line dance to that.
So, today's all about visibility. Welcome to the Maverick Marketing Monday. Um, so, and this is a near and dear subject, actually, I think I'm going to talk to you guys. Uh, so this is near and dear to subject to me because I just think this is so much of a big change right now. I got my start 27 years ago, and even before I went in business, I used to work for web.com and stuff, and I did SEO for them, and how much it's changed. It's always changed in like increments, and Google's made big changes that made you do stuff. I remember, we used to have link farms and we had keyword stuffing and all this stuff, but this change in the last since October has just been wild. It's just like everything you've been doing. Now, if you've been doing SEO for a long time, that's good because you have a basis. But that's all it is now. It's just the basis because they still search for the same thing, but they search for it in a different way. So already having that in there is good. But we're gonna I've been asking questions all week because I find that, there's some people that tune in live, but I get a lot more people that send me questions during the week and then they go watch it on YouTube or LinkedIn and Facebook. And so let me bring the slides back up again. We'll get into them and we're going to cover, uh, everything that people ask me about. And then we'll go from there and see if anybody has any questions. All right. So, enough ado. Can you see my screen there? Yep. All right. So, it's all about getting found. And it's, the lines have blurred between what is social media, what is paid, what is search. They're all part of each other now. It's just amazing. Search, will look at your ads, it'll look at your social media, it'll look at blogs, it'll look at forums, everything. It's just insane. And not only that, but like Google and stuff, they're using AI a lot more in the ads that they're going to go search stuff because they want your ad to be relevant. And social media now, you have to have multiple different types on there to really succeed. And so here's the big thing that's coming out, right? The 60 to 80%. By the end of 2026, if you're not set up for AI search engines, um, you're going to lose 60 to 80%. It's a huge wake-up call. If you continue to just only do what worked on SEO before, you're going to get lost, right? You're not going to be showing up. And so the iPhone made a huge, it's one of the best inventions for marketing. I jokingly call them soccer mom phones because, and I'll explain it was great for our industry because it used to be at that time, the family had a computer downstairs, usually, in the living room and stuff. Now it was near the TV and the kids would get on and play and then dad would come and he'd do some finances and stuff. Mom never touched it. Now I know I'm being a little stereotypical, but that's kind of how it worked. And then all of a sudden, the iPhone came out, and the iPhone was very simple. It didn't have uh, you can get into the whole debate of which one's better, but for someone that had never been using it or been on the internet or anything like that, it made it so easy for the mom now during the day to go look for stuff to shop for and to buy and to interact with the World Wide Web and the internet. And it single-handedly blew stuff up. And then, you know, I I say soccer mom phone because they made the biggest impact. It was people that were not using the internet, were not using anything smart or getting on computers or anything like that, that suddenly had access to all this and it blew it up. So that same thing is happening now. I can't it's amazing how many people I see that they don't go and search anything. My sister's 62 years old, and it's like in this older demographic, they've learned to just ask ChatGPT um, about a problem, and it goes and it searches the web for them. That's what it does. And that's the big gut punch here is that whole demographics, that whole, young, old, whatever, they're switching to searching on their phone, but they're not searching, even if they use Google or anything, they're putting the whole conversation in um, so that they can see it. So, but here's the thing, and if you go back as far as when Google first came out, there was Ask Jeeves, and there was AOL, and there was all kinds of search engines, and it was like the wild, wild west. And it's like that again. There's a whole bunch of them. Google isn't the only gatekeeper. It's still important. It's learned to adapt. And I've seen what they're doing with Disco, and Disco right now is just kind of a feed, but there's all kinds of technology that's coming that they're blending Disco into Chrome, and there's going to be so much more AI that you can't get out of the way. So chasing a keyword doesn't matter anymore. And what's even weirder is that the results you get now may not be the same results you get next week. And much like before, there's so many more AIs coming out. I mean, I can't even keep track of it. I just started playing around with Manus, which is by Meta, which also has Meta AI, and they have Manus AI, and Manus is awesome at doing tasks, and it'll go search the whole web for you. It is one of the best. That and Perplexity are one of the best for searching the web for anything. But just writing blog posts, it doesn't mean you just don't still do it. You do it, but you actually have to do it in a different way because it's answering questions more now and it's giving advice, and there is no more fighting for page one rankings. Now it's just number one or you miss out. So so now AI is the new gatekeeper. You have ChatGPT, you have Claude, Gemini, all these. They don't see pages, they evaluate. You could have the biggest website in the world with 1,000 pages on it, and before, for getting ranked as search, that'd be great because it's so much information and you'd have lots of backlinks, and it depends upon the quality of the backlinks. And now it's like even like how many if people actually click on your backlinks. It doesn't matter if they're from a great page if nobody clicks on it. I mean, there's a lot of nuances that go into getting found. But now AI has a search brain. So it goes out and it looks. And I like to tell the story all the time about Blount County because they couldn't understand this last year why people were bringing dogs to their 4th of July fireworks celebration when they strictly told it not to be. And finally, they were asking someone, they had signs up, everything, and they asked, and they said, well, they asked AI, and AI said it was great to bring dogs. Well, what AI probably did is the park that they're shooting the fireworks off is probably great for dogs, but that event wasn't. And they found information outside what was put there and decided to give a different answer than what the actual people want. And that's how AI works now, because you can put all your information out there, and if other information is out on Facebook or social media or anywhere, um, it's going to decide which is the most credible and recommendable um, information. They don't just look at pages; they evaluate the answer to the question that they've been asked. And there's a lot of stuff to go in there. There's tropical authority. There's signals you could put in there. There's a lot you can do, and frankly, it's become a lot more complicated. You know, so um, what the AI searches are looking for, they're looking at what did they find? Is it a credible source? Um, what authority is sending it there? What is the context? Is it something that's relevant? They could find an article or something somewhere that is all about the topic they're being asked, and you could be that answer, but they could get other information and they'll combine it together. And then they look at the structure of your data. So you do have to set it up in a way that AI can read it and it can understand and use that information. You'll see little snippets that it gives. And if you anywhere you see here, if you see this word LLM, what that is, that's a large language machine. That's what an AI is. So, not to be confused, AI likes to write about itself. Um, so most businesses are becoming very invisible online, right? They have very small pages without a lot of content. AI wants to make a decision. The more information you can give it, the better it can do. Um, if you still have that basic brochure website up there, it's not going to get a lot of information, and it has to be formatted. There's a lot of questions and answers. It wants a lot of the information to be on your website that it can pull word for word and it'll give you a reference, almost like when you're doing, back when I was in college and we did term papers and stuff. We had to cite stuff. Well, it likes to cite and link back to where it came from. So if you're just putting out information just to fill the page and put a lot more information, that's not going to be relevant to it. So I like this term that I totally stole. I didn't invent it at all, but it's very good. SEO doesn't mean search engine optimization anymore. It almost means search everywhere online because for the longest time, I remember it was a big deal last summer when Google decided it was going to start searching Instagram posts, and it had never done that. It would search your page and get the information off there, but it wasn't doing much with posts. And for the longest time, the algorithm couldn't do anything with pictures or videos. Now it can. AI can completely watch the video, understand what's going on. I'm amazed how it picks up on pictures and little things that it can find. Um, so having more information in more places is the way to go. So, a second here. So this really means stuff. So you want to be on lots of different social media profiles. You want to have blogs. You want to have multiple places that it can go find your information. So, and this is how it works. It's like an internet detective, right? Um, it's going to go look at social media. It's going to look for your business name. It's going to look for your name. It's going to look for your product name. It's going to look for that solution actually is, that's associated with that. It's like just like it says here, an internet detective. It's going to look in directories to see, what can they find out about you and you got to understand, it's not looking for your product or your name exactly. It's looking for a solution to a problem. And once you get associated, it associates you with being able to solve that problem, then it's going to start looking more at you. It's going to look at press mentions. Press releases are a huge thing now with AI, guest blogs. So it finds information about you on other blogs, uh, reviews, and not just reviews, but what did they say in their reviews? Not just, hey, 5 stars and they were awesome. But if you can get your customers to leave you not only a review, but a review that talks about what problem you solve for them, that's great. And then there's a lot of stuff like Reddit and forums, that it's searching to find out a lot of different information. So all of this information gets combined to make a decision, right? And here's what I was talking about. It's like, so what used to be just organic and what used to just be paid and what used to just be social, they're all blending together. And there's just not a firm line anymore like there used to be. So what can we do about it? So what you want to do, and I'm not gonna go into depth on this. I'm just gonna give you a really quick overview on this. Right? You want to make sure you're putting a contact out there. But in an overall scheme of things, to get more business online, you want to have a system where you're attracting leads so that you can close leads and deliver results. But it all starts right here. You must get attention before you can get hired. All these phases are good, but if you're not doing anything to attract attention, there's nothing that AI search or anything else going to have to do. So you have to be putting stuff out there that it can find. It's going to be looking for not only your content in looking at social media and stuff, but how fresh is it? Is it something you posted uh, a year ago? And did you just post I have so many people on social media that I go and I look at their stuff, and over again, it's the same thing. So you want to make sure that you're doing attention first. You want to make sure that your problem focused content, you're solving problems because that's what it's searching for. It is not searching for a name or your product or your service or your person. It's searching for the answer to a problem that someone gave to them. And so you want to make sure that your information that you're putting out there, your content on your website stuff, is all about the problems you solve. And then you want to make sure it's in bite-sized chunks, short form. It wants little things. Now, you could have whole longer paragraphs, but you want bite-size, think snippets. So if your website was the TV show, you know, is there parts in there that we can take out that are the coming soon? Think of it like that, like little snippets like that. And then you want to make sure that if AI sending information, you want to have landing pages, lead magnets, guides, PDFs, checklists. It loves all of this stuff that makes perfect lead magnets. Anytime, you can have like a checklist of here's 10 things you can do for this, or the guide to do that. You make a PDF. AI right now, search eats that stuff up, and it also gives you an opportunity to exchange this information as a lead magnet for their information. So, own the problem. What we want you to do is make sure that you're able to finish these problem sentences. I help people who, what? Because this is what AI is searching for. They're searching for very specific answers to problems. And I talk a lot about this with branding and niching down and all that stuff. But what is the problem that you solve? You want to look at this, and this is the kind of content that you want to put on social media, on your website and blogs and stuff. Talk about, I help people who do what, and what is that problem? What is that specialty to do it? Right. And if you have a main problem, if you have one problem that sticks out, make sure it's everywhere. Start putting it in your LinkedIn headline. Put it in your email signature. Make sure it's prominent on your websites. It's prominent in your social media, all of that. Um, and here's the thing about this is like, I've been doing this 27 years and it takes a lot of time, you know. Now, I'm not going to lie. I have programs that help me. I have people that help me, but most people aren't going to spend a couple $1,000s on a program just to do, make sure that all their content is getting found for AI. On average, the person that's doing a business all by themselves and they want to get a lot of traffic, eyeballs, and everything off of online searches, whether it's AI or, I find it hard to even call Google regular searches anymore because they've woven Gemini so much into their even just their regular one, and everything is an algorithm. An algorithm's always been an AI as its own. But you're looking at, on average, you should be spending about 25% of your time just producing stuff so that it can bring you leads. So most people don't have the 25% of their time to give up so that they can just only work on their business 75% of the time, right? And we're talking posting 3 to 7 times per week, but that's per platform. That's on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, even Pinterest. Pinterest is becoming a huge. Pinterest and Reddit are two of them that are blowing up the biggest right now because with AI search, because they like the forums and they love getting checklists and guides off Pinterest. Doesn't mean you're going to sell anything there, but it's going to help give you more authority. So, and then not only talk about the problem you solve, but then as you solve it, start talking about clients that you or customers that you solve that problem for. Write an article, write a section, write a blog post about, hey, this person had that problem. Here's what we did, and here's how it helped them, right? And then you want to be consistent. You just have to, you can't just like decide to do it heavy for 1 week and then not do it again for a couple weeks. So Little plug here. I am not looking to sell anything on the show, but if you want to give us a call and learn how we do this, we do have a complete growth system where we combine search, paid, and social all together. We build videos, we build infographics, we do text stuff, we do blogs, we do all of this stuff to put it out there. And we have different packages where we'll do it for you. We can build it all and you post it, right? We do press releases, we do automation, we do all of this stuff to help you get found. If that's something you're interested, you're more than welcome to reach out and ask us about it. I'm not going to, pitch it or anything like this. I just want you to know that this is the whole system that you need to build to get found. And there's a lot of moving parts in it. So that's my overview of everything that's going on. You want to get recognized, you want to get reference, and then you want AI to recommend you. It's not about ranking anymore. It's about AI understanding you and being your friend and saying, it's no different than when we go on social media and somebody says, "Hey, do you know a good plumber?" And then everybody talks about, say Joey and Abby with friendly neighborhood plumber. Well, AI is just like that. As much as our friends are on social media and looking, AI is doing more. It's going to go around and it's going to recommend somebody. You want it to be you. So, and that's our story, and I'm sticking to it. So, do we have any questions that are live today?
Well, yeah, actually, I don't know if it's a question as much as a comment, but
Okay.
I have been hearing from other gurus just like you that
I'm a guru?
you are a
That
guru
was more like Gru from but
from that show.
okay.
So, yeah, the and it's a huge difference, and it's probably going to be really hard for people to absorb this. And when you do, it's terrifying that instead of someone asks a question and they get a list of options, with AI, they ask a question, they get one answer,
So
one
so
company
um
recommended.
I like telling the story of my sister and her as a 62-year-old mom of two going out to fix her air conditioning unit that was frosting up. And AI walked her through it. She took pictures of the board and everything. It not only told her what to do, what the problem was, what the all the it was back and forth about these different checks. It said, try this, that. It finally told her, you need this part and here's where to get it for this is how much it is. Do you want me to order it for you? Like it didn't give her a list of places to go find. It
Nope.
didn't say this is the part you need. It's well, it did, but it gave her a link right to where to buy it. It didn't give her four
Yeah.
links or two links. It
Yeah.
didn't give her the home page. It gave her a link right to go and put it right in the cart, or it was going to put her in the cart for her.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people with trips that do this. Like, I want to go to Miami and I want to do this and that. And it's like, okay, do you want me to book your flight and you book your,
It's
like,
like
this
a
is where,
travel agent now, huh?
well, and so ChatGPT, the advanced version, the one that I think costs like a couple $100 a month, it'll completely do that. It'll do your whole itinerary. It'll book with voices that will call. Like it's not even doing it on completely on online. It will call like a human voice. And this is funny. I mean, we're talking 10 years ago. I was when I was in New York City. This is like pre-COVID for stuff, and I was listening to Google Call and book hair appointments and order put reservation. I mean, we're so far past like that's always been there. They've had like that long to fine tune it. So and people just they're going to get so used to it doing things
Yeah. Well,
that
now getting back to the travel agent,
okay.
there's a component of that that I'm very curious about because certainly that it can book for you, but then what if something goes wrong? Like you're stuck at an airport and your flight was canceled. If you have a travel agent, you call the travel agent. They hop on it, they get you a
Yeah.
new flight. But I'm thinking, I wonder what AI can do with that. If you
Well,
hop back into that same thread and say, okay, now my flight's
I'm sure
canceled.
you
What?
could jump on and it would start rebooking stuff. but it's just the nature of the beast. I mean, that's the whole debate about people fear being replaced by AI.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a part to it, and there's a part isn't. I personally, you know, want a human interaction a little bit in there somewhere. Excuse me.
Yeah. And
Could
see,
you?
again, with the travel agent, with that one, I could see where I would say to my friend who's a travel agent, okay, I want to go on this. Look, here's what I found some options because sometimes you don't even know what you don't know what you don't know. You don't even know what's available. You could miss out on something amazing because you didn't even know it was an option. And the travel agent would tell you. But in that situation, I could say, okay, here's a bunch of ideas. I think I like this one and this one and this one. And what do you think? And then she would take it and run with it.
Well, and that's where I say that there's always going to be a human factor to
Hmm.
everything. And I think he like, we're friends with Amy Schumacher. She's a great travel agent. Now, I know her personally. Like if I'm going on a cruise or something, absolutely
Hmm.
the AI could probably book and they could probably find all this stuff. But you know what? Amy's been on a bunch of them. She's been
Hmm.
there and she's like,
Yeah,
oh, you know what? Something that AI is never going to get is that personality factor that,
exactly.
uh, you know what? Yes, it's a great room that you're getting here, but I realize that, at 6 a.m. that the kitchen's right there, and all the staff
Yes.
comes through there. Like there's little
Yes.
nuances that it's not going to
Yes.
get. And so
Yes.
so it depends what you're doing. Like I think it's great to start with that and stuff. And now if I was going somewhere, I'm going for a work conference and it doesn't really matter where I'm going to be at, then maybe it doesn't matter. But if I'm sure as heck if I'm booking, my 50th anniversary or my honeymoon or
Right,
something, I'm going to
right.
want a personal
Yeah.
touch in there.
Yes.
But I assume, my travel agent is also being smart enough to have AI search for deals that you don't know. Um, I remember when AI first got big and search and some of the stories I heard. I mean, this is still going back probably. It seems weird that it's that long ago, but it's been like 10 years. Uh, Talking about how there was this gentleman that was just so sick in Japan and they couldn't figure out what was wrong. Well, AI was able to scan all of the medical books in like a second.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it could come back and said, "Hey, do you check this? Hey, do you check that?" I had a warning light on my Jeep, did the same thing. It's like, well, did you check this? And finally we narrowed it down and found it out. But it's interaction and it's still talking to people. Um, it's a tool, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's no different than, well, it is different, but it's like, used to have to get up and walk over to your TV to change it, and then the remote came out. Made it
Yeah, it's
easier.
almost like think about when the nail gun came out, the electric nail gun.
Yeah.
It didn't replace hammers completely. People still use hammers,
Uh-huh.
and they're both tools.
But it
And
made
there's
it
the,
faster and easier.
yeah,
And
but there's the right application for each one of
but you
them.
you don't go build a house and like where you need a screw or something. You don't go, well, I'm just going to use the nail gun for everything.
Right, right,
That's and
exactly.
that's what some people get that and um I love to watch, because I do marketing, I build websites, I do, social media posts and stuff. And I love when people keep going, oh, you could just have AI write it all. I'm like, oh, please do that because I want everybody to have the same one so that mine do much better. So I want all your, and I think I told this story during the AI one a couple weeks ago. Uh, is that, AI building websites and stuff, it starts to feel like when you come home, when you go to one of these new developments and there's rows
Yeah,
and rows of houses and they all look the same. I was just
yeah,
uh,
yep.
friend of ours, Leanne Johnson. I was went and saw her new house, and I'm like, some of our friends got lost. They just couldn't tell because Lordy, if the numbers fell off, you'd never know which one's which.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and that's how websites and social media are starting to get. There's some like if I'm doing something fast, I'll have AI make an image and stuff. But usually instead of I have Photoshop and all that, I'll write long prompts to do it, so it gets a very custom thing. And then, there's some neat ones that came out, and then I noticed, the more you get something neat, the more it starts to see that and copy it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Any other questions about getting found? Okay. Well, I'm probably going to, I've been trying to go live and trying to do a little bit of snippets and here and there with the different stuff. We've been talking, you know, when I go live about, um, niching down and all that. And I think the more specific your message is, the more you're going to get found. But I'm going to start talking about all little things and maybe come up with a 30-day plan of here's 30 things you can do to start getting found by AI. And here's something that people don't even know. We have a program that we go in. It's not free or anything, but you can train AIs. We can have AI train AI, which is pretty funny. We can go and feed it all the information about our website and then continually have our AI ask that AI questions that we know that we're the answer to. And it's a technique. I don't know how long it's going to work. And the wild thing about all this is that, what's working now may not work in 3 or 6 months because it's just changing so fast. And just
Agreed.
like I said, the sheer amount of different AIs that keep coming out. I hadn't, you know, I would use Claude. They all have personalities. Claude's like my hippie one that loves to write creative stuff, and uh, ChatGPT is like my buddy. He's very organized, and he's the perfect one for a brain dump. Um, the Gemini gets really good at getting creative with uh, images and stuff like that. Doesn't follow directions very good though. Man, it gets
It's
lost.
a
Uh,
Maverick.
and then this Manus that Meta released, man, it is just a workhorse. You give it tasks and it eats it up. But here's something, I mean, I don't personally use Meta.ai much, but it's one of the best things. It's made for making 6-second video clips and stuff. And they all pull from different stuff. That one pulls from Instagram and Facebook. So if you want to make a picture or a video for Instagram or Facebook, I'd be using Meta AI.
But
That's
yeah,
what it's
they're
made
the
for.
authority on it, and you're getting it from them. That
And,
makes
and, and right
total
now,
sense.
Perplexity, you know, Manus does a good job, but Manus is very technical. But Perplexity is, probably your best search tool if you're
That's
looking for
my
stuff like that.
go-to,
Yeah.
perplexity.
But if you try to use one of them for everything, it's just,
Yeah.
you have if you have an office and you have someone that answers phones and somebody's that's good at doing reports and stuff, you don't
Yeah.
make the one person do everything, and that's what AI. You got to understand
Yeah.
what's best for all of them.
Now, here's a little rabbit hole we can get into
Ooh,
because
rabbit holes.
where, which AI did I use that to build that? So I have a thumbnail on a YouTube video that I put up about 4 days ago, and it has a really cool thumbnail that I know I built in an AI feature, and now I want to build more, and I can't remember where I built that one.
And then I was starting to read an article today too about like uh you've actually turned me on to using Notebook LM, which
Yeah,
I the slides from this or from that.
nice.
But the reasoning part of it is something I haven't dived into, and that can help.
Okay. Hmm.
And I could totally see that being able to pump out images and stuff soon that'd be great for social media posts. But you got to give it information. And one of the best things
Yeah,
about Notebook LM is that you have to upload. It requires you to upload documents and stuff. And and it's a perfect example of how search works because it takes if I copy and paste all the stuff from a document, it actually takes it and it doesn't use my document, it instantly summarizes it and it makes its own little determination about what that document was about. And then if I want to make a slideshow or I want it to make a presentation video, it does it based on what it thought, kind of like having a conversation and it's taking notes and it decides how you said stuff. And
mhm.
sometimes it's completely wrong. Actually, the slideshow for this was weird. At first, the first thing I did is I type out all my notes and then I put it in there it told me, oh, snippets of how to get snippets you can make for social media. And I'm like, what? So I
Snippets
had
about
to go,
snippets.
yeah, because one of the things I was talking about was having like putting, putting small nuggets out there to get found. Like I've been doing a lot for social media. I've been putting 1 to 3 sentence posts for all our clients. And they're getting a ton of interaction, which is cool. But I also know if nobody goes from it, the AI searches like to read it. So they're going in and they're reading these little snippets that I put in it. So, and AI likes the short stuff right now. Now that could change as it keeps. I mean, well, I
Yeah.
think 3.1 of Gemini just came out the other day.
Hmm.
Uh, it loves the shorts on YouTube. So taking these longer content and putting out long, and then also making, there's a great program, Opus, that'll take any, like this video right here. I'll take this into Opus and I'll probably make a bunch of videos, short
I
videos.
love
I won't
Opus.
have to
Yeah.
make it. It'll just chop it up. It's just
Yeah.
really smart at listening and finding out. And the reasoning that it gets, I still am blown away by the understanding that Notebook LM gets. But so, any other questions about getting found online?
Wow. Only a million, right?
Yeah, well, here's the great thing. I'll put stuff out. We do this the fourth week, is always about visibility. We will be back next Monday at 2. And first week is social media. Second week is AI. Third week is automation. And the funny part is they're blurred because
Right.
it's hard to talk about visibility without talking about AI and
Mm.
talking about social.
Yep.
It's hard to talk about social again without talking about AI. It's hard to talk about AI without talking about automation.
Yep.
And they all blend together, so it's not a firm thing, but
Yeah.
we'll drop
And I've
some stuff
heard,
out there. And if people have some questions about social media, comment on them at the Web Mavericks on Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere. And about an hour, people will find this on YouTube. You can always go and ask questions there too. All right.
hmm and I'm hearing the consumer, the person who would hire me or hire you, they're saying things like, for my business, I just really think I need some AI automation. Like they're putting those two words together as one thing, or they think that, or they're viewing them as the same thing, which, like you just said, it's blurred. It's all, they work very well together. So the consumer I'm hearing is they're saying things like
Absolutely.
AI automation. Yeah. So I say, okay, I'm on board with it.
Well, that works well for you. You're the
That's
funnel
right.
automation godmother.
That's
So,
right.
all
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, we'll call it a day for today. And if you have any questions about increasing social media, I'm thinking, and it depends how well it goes, I might talk about how to make your AI clone for social media
Mm.
next Monday. I'm thinking about it. If not, I'll do that for the AI. But I have a whole bunch of programs and I've been doing it, and I think it's something that's interesting out there, and we need to start talking about it. So, all right. Well, everybody have a great Monday. We'll see you soon,
Bye bye.
and enjoy.